Good morning. Oh god. This'll have to stay for a minute. I can't fold this part up by myself. But where's the seam? There's the seam. I can do this part. How surprised you were. I didn't think about it when I sat down. I just thought, sit down. There's one. Just have to wait. Stephen will be up in a second. Kepler's having a morning. Chess has so much green, getting started on celebrating Picklemas early. We've decorated. I bet you didn't know that was the traditional decorations. Actually, Stephen can't get the background by himself. We both have to. Twitchy says, one thing I'll never understand is how your blanket is not covered in Kepler hair. He does not sleep on the green screen blankets. He does sleep on this one, which is the one I've had in my lap for the last few weeks. And then every so often I'll just wash it. And sometimes I have a different one up here. It's just the one I have right now. He likes that one. What else one? He likes... There's a gray one he likes. He likes things that are soft. Very much. There's Kepi. There's the boy who's been having a morning. Or he decided he did not want any dry food this morning. And then acted like we didn't feed him. So, trying to get him to eat something. I do wish coffee was slightly cooler though. Too hot. He has a bowl full of dry food for the auto feeder. I can see it. He just doesn't want it. Don't love that. Alright, we're gonna get through a few of the alerts, and I guess we'll be saving, like... There's an Eddie. We'll save that for when Steven gets up here. We have a 55-month resub from Mayorales. Anise gifted 5 subs to Esper Magic, Sir Air Dude, Jizzle Dupes, Shirk Rules, and Baku Craft. Am I doing pickle nails for Picklemas? I don't have any green. If I had green, maybe. The closest thing I have is like a dark teal, and it's very blue. We have a 25-month resub from Brina BX. 30 months from Dan the Warrior. Time to buy some. But I want to buy bike stuff. We have 300 bits from Xenofantasies with the Kepler Star Rain. 3 months from Mr. Mandermanny. 7 months from Ellipso1. 52 months from Maya the Siren. 58 months from Shinoth. Thank you for all 3 subs. Green bike stuff. My bike is red. I'm buying blue bike stuff. Have Christmas bike. I don't know. What do I have to do this week? What's today? I have a scheduled phone call to catch up with a friend. I have an appointment, but it's a virtual appointment. Thank you, Chaz. We can talk about that. The auction for this painting ends right as breakfast stream ends. It looks a little green over the green screen, but it's quite golden. So if you want the actual canvas, you have less than an hour to bid on it. So that will be ending at 9:57 Eastern in 50 minutes. Hi. Welcome to the upstairs.
I love the upstairs.
The green screen's up.
So it is.
Uh-huh.
I don't need your help.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh. I do.
Uh-huh. You're not 6.5 feet tall.
There, now it looks much less green.
Hi.
Hi.
I was taking care of boy.
Hired above a secret hovel, Tiny Eddie's bubbly, swollen, venomous rings.
Watch out, they'll bite you.
Why are they swollen?
With venom.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. 1050 from Anissa says, "Hey Eddie, it is Christmas vacation and we're having a heat wave. Got anything cooling?" Have you considered swollen venom rings?
I don't really want to, and I was forced to this morning.
You can ingest venom, right? Like, venom in your bloodstream, bad. Venom in your stomach is fine? It's kind of fine. I don't know what the specifics are. But, like, it's not as bad as being in your blood. Probably.
You don't know.
I don't know. I don't know a lot. Guess it depends on the venom. Steven's grandfatherly advice of the day. It's okay to eat poison. No, no, no. It's not okay to eat poison. Poison is poisonous. But venom isn't poison.
If you eat something and you die, it's poison. If something bites you and you die, it's venom.
Venomous. Which means, can you put... No, you can't put poison in your blood. Don't put poison in your blood. Don't put anything in your blood. Nothing goes in the blood except blood.
So I had an allergy shot yesterday. And my body sure thought it was poison. But my microplastics.
Sorry about your body. You know what the problem is?
I'm allergic to the thing.
I was going to say you're human. That's the problem. Because the body is bad. Your body is particularly bad because from the get-go it was like, all these things, bad. So then you have to teach your body to be like, no. And then body's like, really? Grass is okay? Like, yeah, there's actually a lot of grass in the world, so we would appreciate it if you, like, were cool with grass, body. And the body's like, I don't know. What if I made you swell up and be upset when grass was around? Anyway. I need this. My body also not cool. Body's just not cool with a lot of stuff.
And it can happen suddenly.
Like, any random day after 20 years, your body can be like, I don't like eggs. You're like, what? I don't like eggs now. But why? I don't like them. Don't you put them in me. Also, chickens. Nothing with the chicken or the egg. Nothing.
Could be trying to kill us.
I think chicken's trying to kill us. Okay, it's not. You can just develop allergies and it sucks.
Coffee!
You know what we shouldn't be having? Milk. And then some of the things you're not typically exposed to, it's hard to know. Like, most people don't know if they're allergic or not to bees. And they find out when it happens. And then you're kind of like, can't wait to learn. We got 61 months from Writer Book Ninja, 24 from Aaron the Baron. That's a 2. And here's a snack.
Feel delighted from your sternum to your spleen with Tiny Eddie's gooey extra crispy opalescent cotton soda.
From the sternum to the spleen.
Soda.
Gooey, extra crispy, opalescent cotton soda. None of these are words that describe soda. Gooey.
It does not sound very refreshing.
Gooey soda, I'm like, you've lost me. Extra crispy, I'm like, what's happening? First off, you can't do gooey and extra crispy. How does that work? Wait, no, hold on. You could. If you made hash browns and you made them crispy, but they had cheese, that would be gooey extra crispy.
I suddenly want Waffle House.
Also, a Rice Krispie treat is a much easier, better example than the thing I said. Anyway, good morning and good vibes from New York. Another lovely breakfast stream means another bout of snack divination. Say it with me if you know the words. Cast ye forth the bones of fate, Sir Edward, and tell our future. Gooey extra crispy opalescent cotton soda. Trying to think of a way that gooey soda would work, but I don't want to.
You don't need to.
Like the syrup that goes into the machines.
You're still thinking about it.
You're right. 300 bits from Dan the Warrior says, hope y'all are doing well. I myself am excited-ish. I get to hang out with a buddy today because they are doing a boring task and essentially said, you're coming with. In other news, I started FFIVDS.
Final Fantasy 4 DS.
Is that what that is? Final Fantasy 4 DS? And I already love that it has good voice acting. Final Fantasy 4 DS. I don't remember these games. I vaguely remember Final Fantasy 3 on the DS. Did they make a 4? I think I was thrown off slightly because the S was lowercase. But also still, I don't remember 4.
Coffee!
They have made more than 4 Final Fantasies. Really a bad name for a video game.
Okay, but this is the 14th Final Fantasy.
Okay, but this is the Final Fantasy. There should be a game called Final Fantasy: The Continued Fantasy. When are they going to make Mystic Quest 2? When's First Fantasy? 300 Bits from Dan the Warrior says, so, funny thing, Mal mentioned Waffle House, and I just recently found out the Raisins in My Toast and Other Songs. And also, yes, it's the DS port of Final Fantasy IV on DS, and is considered the best version. Ah.
When are they going to make the penultimate Final Fantasy?
Pre-Final Fantasy. Have you played any Final Fantasies?
Third to last Final Fantasy.
You played the third to last Final Fantasy?
It's my favorite.
Wouldn't that technically be Final Fantasy 14?
No, I have not played any of them.
You haven't played any of them? Do you have an interest or not really? It's not there.
Not really.
Yeah. You probably know just enough from pop culture to be like, okay, it's like the de facto RPG series. Yeah. There's games in the series that are like genuinely very good. There's other ones that are like, okay, they made this. This is a game. But to someone, every Final Fantasy is their favorite game. Haley says, 6 and 9 are the best. 6 is universally known as being extremely good. 6 and 7 are universally known as being extremely good. Everything else is subjective. Not that they're not like bad games. They're good games. But like universally, 6 and 7. And then people have got opinions about 8 and 9. People have a lot of opinions about 10. That's it. Healy says, 9 is also known as being great. I mean, yeah, but not anywhere in the same... I've never heard anything negative about 9. I'm not saying anything negative about 9. I'm just saying that in the world of Final Fantasy, 6 and 7 are so far above the rest of the games. Are you confusing 9 and 8? No! I'm not. They're all great games. But 6 and 7 are so... Yeah, let me use the word popular. 6 and 7 are so much more popular than the other ones. Doesn't mean the 8 and 9 are bad. It just means that more people have played and love 6 and 7. I mean, they aren't all great. No, they're not. But people have nostalgia for games that they've played at certain ages. So sometimes people play Final Fantasy X and they're like, I don't like this game.
And sometimes they play Okage.
Okage, a good game. Listen, if a game makes you laugh, it's good. Period. Games just have to be funny. They don't have to be good. They just have to make you chuckle. And that's it. The first Final Fantasy game that I played all the way through was 10. That was the first one I played all the way through. I mean, I didn't finish the boss, but I've otherwise played it. And I played a first disc of 7. And one of the Game Boy ones. 48 months from Land 144. That's a 4. That means you didn't play it all the way through then? Listen. It's the closest I came. Did I finish any of the Final Fantasy? I've played 1 and 2. I do not remember them at all. But I had, what was it, Dawn of Souls for Game Boy Advance. So, my favorite character from Final Fantasy X? It has to be Auron, right? There is no better character from that game. Walk is pretty good too. Yeah, Auron has just like the the aura of good character. I remember I played this game, like, when did Final Fantasy X come out? Like 2001? I played it not long after it came out, and I have not revisited it. So maybe at some point I will. I was always a Nintendo boy, and then I bought a PlayStation 2 because I was like, wait a minute, I'm not a Nintendo boy. I'm video game boy. I like video games. Why do I have allegiance to a company? I'm not 7 anymore. And then I bought a PlayStation 2. And that was great. And then shortly after that, I was like, wait a minute. I want to play Halo. And then I bought an Xbox. That was my history of video games. We 300-bits Maldo says, my favorite detail about Final Fantasy IV is that the original game had an NPC who could change your name. Since the DS version is voice acting, you can't do that anymore, so he has a mental breakdown about losing his purpose in life. It's pretty good.
You had said Okage in jokes, and there's a joke in Okage. And I just had to look up where it was, because I was like, did I miss it?
I mean, there's a lot of dialogue.
There is a lot of dialogue.
So it seems like it would be very easy to miss. Mm-hmm. You're going to miss dialogue in video games because it's just the nature of video games. I bet it's fun to revisit Okage, though.
It is.
Because it's been, like, what, a decade or more?
Yeah.
It is a game that you have consistently talked about wanting to revisit for a long time. So, I'm glad you're getting a chance to do it.
On Monday, we saw my favorite character.
What character is that? Rat?
Linda.
Whoa.
Linda. Haley says, I want an Okage remake where they actually make the dungeons enjoyable. I want that. And I have opinions on the length of the game.
I mean,
it feels rushed.
Early 2000s JRPG doesn't understand. I mean, there's a lot of video games from that era that just do not respect the player's time. We're thankfully entering more into a world where developers are like, what if the video game was always fun? Like, what if we kept the concepts of the genre that you enjoy, but we made it, like, fun the whole time? As opposed to, oh, you want the fun part? You gotta go do the part that you don't like for a long time. Game needs to be longer? Let's make it impossible. Hades is great. But also, like, the sense of progression in that game is very good, too. A lot of JRPGs are just... the next boss is 10 levels higher than you. So, you know... what are you gonna do? I guess I'm gonna go grind. It's my favorite thing to do in the game. Is go fight enemies that I've fought already. Which ones gave me the most experience? So the bees in the forest. Alright, well I'm gonna backtrack to the forest and fight the bees.
Haley says, Mother 1.
You can leave the house in Mother 1 and lose to the first fight.
I can and have multiple times.
You can walk out the door. Nintendo can be like, I'm ready for an adventure. And then they bury him in the yard because he's dead. Nintendo will die so many times in Mother 1. Like, who? I'm so upset that Nintendo did not put Clyde's Easy Ring into Earthbound Beginnings. Because that's the only way that video game is palatable. It's fine. It's fine. They did what they could. Anyway. We had 25 months from Risen1247. Thank you. I have a question. Who has played Earthbound Beginnings / Mother 1? Who here has played the...
Without the easy ring or with the easy ring?
It doesn't matter. Just
Okay.
who has experienced the video game in some capacity.
I have.
Whether that's years ago on an emulator or they played it. Absolute... Chaz?
Has?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Back to Big Rig on up now. Chaz, have you not played Mother 1? Because that's...
A poll has begun. Have you played Mother 1?
Chaz, are you serious? Chaz, I don't play video games. First off, shut up. Second off, you seriously haven't played it? I mean, I could see that. I hadn't played Mother 1 until just 10 years ago. I finally played it. It looks bad to play. Why would I? It's not... it's not the worst video game I've ever played. It's not the worst. It's not high on the list. It's not super high. I've always told people when they ask about the Mother series, I'm like, I watched famous video game Let's Player Stephen George play it. I know what happens. It's fair. It's true. Instead of playing Mother 1 or any of those any video game that's like not enjoyable, you can just watch someone play it. And
I played it in
fine.
like 2009.
You played it before I did.
Mm-hmm. I cried a lot. Because of its difficulty.
I thought that's where we were going. Any game that's not enjoyable, we can watch you play. It's true. True. Yeah, if you want to experience the Mother series, play Earthbound. And then if you enjoy Earthbound, play Mother 3. Both of them are fantastic.
And if you want a history lesson that kicks you when you're down, play Mother 1.
Yeah, Mother 1 should be the last game you play.
There were many points of the game where I was like...
The poll has ended. The winner is no.
There were many points of the game in Mother 1 where I was like, this is where this idea came from.
Yeah, that's why it's a fun history lesson.
It is a history lesson.
Because if you play Mother 2 and you play Mother 3, and you're into the games, you're like, oh, these were fantastic. I love to see the carried themes from 2 to 3. Were the themes in 1? The answer is yes. The themes and a lot of the gameplay mechanics and the music is from 1.
And there's just like little things you're like, yep, this was all made by the same person.
Yeah.
I can see the little bits of humor and their personality in it.
So that's neat. But is it? Do you want to use save states? I mean, yeah. Earthbound is hella dated. It's true, but it's also not dated to the point of being unplayable.
Yeah.
There are certainly game choices that are in conflict with modern RPG experiences. But is it still very playable? It's still very playable. Yeah. I feel so bad for your younger viewers who played Earthbound expecting a religious experience and instead got bad item organization. You know what the wildest thing was? I played Mother 3 back in May, and it's the same inventory system.
Yeah, but there's
There's a
separate
key.
item,
There
that
is.
key.
They do have key items.
Yeah.
They have a slot for key items, but otherwise you have the same number of slots as you did in Earthbound. So it's pretty similar, but it has nut. It does have nut. It also has little pictures. That's how I got through it in Japanese.
Yeah.
The game came out and I imported it on day 1. And I'm like, I have to learn what the image means because I'm like, okay, this image means my health goes up. So commit this to memory. Don't even know that it's a nut. I'm just like, that thing is important. It's fine. Video games should be enjoyed in other languages. We had 32 months from potato chips. What? Thanks. Flint has one of these. Yeah,
I remember having this like light bulb moment because I had taken like Japanese 1 in high school, and then I played Mother 3, and I could read hiragana and katakana.
yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this word means bug, and it looks like a spray can, and being like, oh, it's bug spray.
Dishnet, that's me playing the Japanese Power Pros game. This image looks good. Must be good. Yeah, it's not something I would want to do regularly, because if someone's never tried playing a Japanese game, it's a fun experience in the sense that like you're using different parts of your brain to play a video game, because you can't just read what's happening. So you have to infer a lot, especially if you're playing an RPG, because you start to then, if it doesn't have pictures, you start to then recognize the characters, and you're like, okay, that restores my magic. And it's very weird. I think for me, one of the most interesting experiences I had was playing Mother 2, after having played Earthbound a lot. So I clearly knew what to do. But the monkey caves? Jesus. I would recommend anyone, especially if it's an RPG specifically, that they've played a lot in English, to try playing that in Japanese, just to give it a shot, just to see what happens. Don't miss the monkey caves. The monkey caves were hell on earth, but everything else, I managed to get through the game in Japanese, and that was fun. Like I knew what options in the battle did what. Like I knew like the psi moves and stuff, so it was fine. It's fine. But do I want to play any more Japanese games now? Not really. What I want is like a screen reader type thing where we could play a game and it would just auto like overlay the translation. That technology exists, right? Is that real? We have that, like Google has that. Like you can do that with the phone. Google and Apple have their own thing. I want that technology. We talked about this back when we played Sukeban.
Yeah, when we played Reina. Because like I want to play Indonesia and
Exactly. That's exactly why I'm saying that.
UFO and
LOL.
LOL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean those games have translation patches, so
one of them for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if the other two do.
Definitely UFO and LOL. I want to try. Indonesia's important too, but not as much as the other ones. Mm-hmm. For the uninitiated, UFO and LOL are the other Love Delic games, the folks that made Moon. And I'd love to know what those are like. Moon came first. And man, we got an English localization of that. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Thank you. What's dude's name?
Tim
Rogers. Thank you, Tim Rogers. I'm hoping that they'll at some point consider localizing the other games. There cannot be very much demand for that, but I would really appreciate if they did it. But they're making Stray Children, so
it's supposed to come out in Japanese soon.
Isn't it this month? Isn't it like we're here, I think. I don't know when that's coming.
Onion.
Here at George Corp, we don't make promises. But you know Mal and I are going to play Stray Children. So, that's not a promise. That's a statement. It's nice to be excited about a video game, though. Like, I feel, to some extent, as you get older, I don't know if it's the excitement wanes or the number of titles you are excited about goes down. But at this point in my life, I like video games, but it has to for me to be like, oh, I'm genuinely excited to play, like, it has to be a pretty big deal. So.
Yeah, it's less than a month. Because I'm subscribed to their secret onion seller.
Yeah.
And it said, with the Japanese release in less than a month.
Like, the video games I'm excited about now... The video games I'm excited about now are GTA 6 and Stray Children. And, like, maybe something else. I'm trying to think if there's anything I can even remotely think of. I guess not. I'm excited for the next games conceptually, like whenever there's another Donkey Kong platformer, sure. I'm excited for
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, like when the next Animal Crossing comes out. I'm like, oh, I would get back into that. I'm excited for, conceptually, the next Elder Scrolls. Conceptually, another 3D Mario game. Like, but these things don't exist. I mean, I guess Elder Scrolls exists. Yeah, that's right. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD releases. That's true. But I've played that.
Yeah.
So that's less exciting.
Same.
I don't plan on picking that up unless I find it real cheap or something. So. It will be neat, though, because that means that every single Donkey Kong Country game will be playable on the Switch. Because 1, 2, and 3 are on NSO. Donkey Kong 64 is not a Donkey Kong Country game. It's fine, it's just not a country game. Did we only have 5 of them? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 returns and Tropical Freeze, right? That's it. Oh yeah, the land games are on there too. They just dropped. That's right. They just released. Back to back to back. If you've never played the Donkey Kong Land games, I had the first one on Game Boy as a child. It's its own game. Like it's not a port of Donkey Kong Country. But Donkey Kong Land 2 and 3 I think are ports. So isn't Land just country but not pretty? No, it's its own stages, and also it's got some weird. I remember there's like a coin. Like the checkpoint is not a barrel. I think it's a coin or something. I haven't played it in a long time. The other thing, and I mentioned this on Twitter, I think, is if you choose to play through the Donkey Kong Land games. Bless you.
That was a hiccup.
Excuse you. If you choose to play through the Donkey Kong Land games, the Japanese version is in color. We didn't get that anywhere else, but Japan got the third one in color, so you can, Right, Brother for Christ says Japan got the colorized version. You can download the Japanese version of the NSO apps, and it's extremely easy. And I recommend you do it, because there are games that are only available on those apps that you can't play otherwise. Yeah, you could play Mother 3 if you wanted. You just have to go to your Nintendo account, change your country to Japan, log back into your Switch, download the apps so you have them, and then change your country back to wherever. And once you have the apps, they will always get the updates and you can always play them. It is extremely easy. It takes like 5 minutes. So, and you only have to do it the one time. I guess theoretically, if they ever add a new system, you'd probably have to change it back over to Japan to get that app. But yeah, it's real easy. So, something to think about. One thing to note is if you have a family subscription, I think it turns off, it might just be normal subscription too. I think it turns off auto renewal, which is not a problem, but you'll just have to make a note to renew your NSO when it expires. So, can you have the Japanese one and your local one at the same time? Yep. Yeah. On my Switch, because you can do folders, I have USA and Japan, and it has all of the apps for the respective countries in there. So, yeah, it's good. But I did lose the auto renewal, and I had to turn it back on. And I had made a note to do it, and I missed it by like a day or two. And Juliet is on our family plan, and Juliet sent me a message and was like,
Hey.
I went to play game and it said, do not have NSO? And I was like, oh yeah! I was like, sorry. It was important that my profile picture was Flint, so...
Let me fix that.
Let me fix that. And it took like, 1 second. It's fine. We had 300 bits from Shia says, I don't know if this is something you guys have talked about, but on the subject of localization, what are your thoughts about how certain localizers have taken it upon themselves to adjust dialogue in games because they didn't like the original for one reason or another? I mean, if it's an individual person adjusting dialogue, that's certainly a choice. Sometimes things need to be changed because, I mean, that's part of the localization process, right? Like, it's not just translating, it is localizing. It's adjusting dialogue to some degree.
Like if there's a joke that's about a specific Japanese pop culture reference.
Yeah, right.
That's not going to come across.
Like in that instance, it would be better for that joke to be adjusted to make sense to an English audience. If it's a joke about, a pop singer, then try to make the joke about like
an equivalent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shai says, I mean, completely changed context and characterizations. I mean, I don't love that. I don't love that. And actually, Mother 1's a good example of that. Because, like, the town names in Earthbound Beginnings are not the town names in Mother 1. Like, a lot of them are, like, completely different to a point where I'm like, okay. They kind of change some things willy-nilly. And that can be a little strange, because then you've got people that grew up playing Mother 1, and you've got people growing up playing Earthbound Beginnings. So when you talk about the game, people will talk about the same town, but the town has two names, depending on what you played. And obviously that's not as bad as, like, we decided that this character now is this, or the motivations of this character are completely different. Sometimes that gets fixed also.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes they'll release a game and the localization is super far off, and then years down the line they like remake that game and the fans have been clamoring for a more accurate localization, and then they do it. And that's neat.
Yeah.
So that happens sometimes. That happened with some games on PSP too. I remember the PSP had like some Super Nintendo remakes or ports or whatever, and like they finally changed the dialogue to be more accurate.
Like,
So
I don't love how alcohol references in Earthbound got changed to coffee, but it does make for some funny lines, like crying into my cappuccino.
yeah. And like that's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like the differences between Japan and America are very real, and were especially real in the 90s. So like Nintendo trying to bring that game over here and make the adjustments necessary for it to be accessible to a younger audience.
Yeah.
It's not even a younger audience, it's just an American young audience. Like, it makes sense.
I mean, I kind of grew up in, like, bars and supper clubs.
You lived in the Midwest. Mother 2 is like the Midwest, and Earthbound is like the Southeast. It's a little different. Yeah, there is a ROM hack of Earthbound that restores some of that, like the references to coffee are changed back to alcohol, and like the graphics that say cafe are changed back to bar. So there's I don't remember what, I think it's called Earthbound Uncut, and like sure, if you wanted to play that you could, but Earthbound, like the English experience of Earthbound is Earthbound. It's not that. So you can play that, but I wouldn't play that first, because then in your brain you'll be like, oh, well, I went to this place and it's not called the same thing. Video games, man. The way that we experience video games are completely different. Oh yeah, Ness is naked. That's right. There's a part of Mother 2 where Ness is just completely naked for a while. And in America they were like, pajamas? He got his pajamas back. Yeah. Americans know that people can be naked. Or can't know that people can be naked. It's true. He has his hat. Does he?
Yeah.
He's naked with his hat?
Yeah.
I believe you, but I don't remember that. Mother to Magic Can't. Yeah. I don't remember that. Although I guess I've only ever played... Sorry, babe. The hat stays on. I think... I mean, I've only ever played Mother 2 once, when it came out on Game Boy, so maybe that's why. Neat. There's a really... For people that are into localization and games making that journey... Clyde, the translator of Mother 3, has several books that are really cool. Really, really cool. There's one on Earthbound, which is obviously my favorite, and is really, really in depth. But he's also done ones on the first Legend of Zelda, and I think Mario Brothers or something. And then most recently, Undertale. So, yeah, it's neat. The Earthbound one specifically is incredible, and of course it would be. Clyde is a lifelong Earthbound fan, and responsible for so many of the important like communal Earthbound things. So, yeah, it's a fascinating book, like very, very good. I don't know if it's still in print. I know every once in a while they reprint it, but it's like so good. It's really, really good. It's also like 300 or 400 pages. It's huge because it's literally comparing like every single line of dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's not just like this is what it said, and it's like it goes into detail about like because Clyde lived in Japan for a long, long time, and it's like, okay, well, this is why this change was made and stuff like that. So it's one of probably the most fascinating books you could ever read about localization. It's very, very good. So it's probably more fun if you've played Earthbound and you're a fan of the game, but I think anyone would probably enjoy it. So yeah, it's on Fangamer. Hopefully they're in stock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're painting.
I talked about that before you came upstairs this morning.
Oh, so you did?
Yeah.
Because your painting is here.
Yeah, I already held it up.
I see that. Okay. Cool. I played an old video game yesterday. Because yesterday I started playing...
That needs thrown away.
Oh, yeah, so it does.
At least it get eaten.
I had to open a game.
Yeah.
I played played Doom, the original Doom. I've never played the original 1993 Doom. And
Ooh, macroplastics.
And I started playing it yesterday. Doom's divided into 4 episodes, and I finished episode 1. And it has an instruction book. Oh, this explains the story! Oh, cool! It shows the story of Doom, the story of Doom 2, and the story of Doom 3, which has a much smaller write-up. It shows all the weapons, the power-ups. Oh, this is neat. This is neat. Huh. Okay, well, during the next Doom stream,
You'll read it?
I'll read the story. By the way, going to do a Doom stream Saturday, which is an unusual thing, but I thought I would beat Doom in 2 streams, and after yesterday, I'm only a quarter of the way through, and I'm like, that's not what I wanted to happen. So I'm going to play more of it on Saturday. I don't have a time for you. I don't want to commit to a time quite yet, but I would say somewhere between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Eastern would be my suspicion. Doom has gameplay? I only play for plot. Yeah. Vagabond says, it did take me a quarter of the time to beat what you did yesterday. It's fair. I think I spent like 20 minutes on level 1 looking for the secrets. Because it takes like, even for someone that's new, it takes like 2 minutes to get through level 1. But then it's haunting you because in the top corner it's like, you have found 0 of 3 secrets in the level. So then you're just walking through the level pressing interact to find the secret walls because Doom is full of secret walls. Yeah. Yeah. And when you press A, he goes, oof. So the entire... It's like 12 minutes of oof, 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 oof. And then hoping that a door opens. I could only find 2 of them, and then I had to ask how to find the 3rd one. And it's because it wasn't an oof. It was a, oh, when you walk into this room and you pass the shadow line, a special elevator comes down far away. So if you know it's there and just make a beeline, you'll get on the elevator. And I'm like, oh my god. It's fine. It's totally fine. So anyway, yeah, I'll play more of that on Saturday. It's fun to play these, classic titles that I missed out on. So it seems like everyone that played Doom, played it on a computer, maybe Super Nintendo. And I didn't have a computer when I was a kid, so I missed out on Doom completely. But now I get to play it. It's fun. I got 21 months from RetroLiz and 300 bits from Satsy. Says, I've been without cats for over a week, and so much has gotten done, now I have a cold. Not related. Also beans. Beans.
I hung out with cats last night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet they're glad that Chaz and Jeff are home.
Yeah.
I bet so. As we approach the end of the stream, things to know. Today is Thursday.
Correct.
So this is the stream that is on Thursday, and you're watching it.
Shoot, is it?
Congrats. Tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, Mal will be painting more of Kaboom and Sparkle.
Yep.
And then tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern,
A game.
Join us back here on this couch for a video game.
Did you decide what we're doing?
Sure.
Okay. I'm excited to work on Kaboom and Sparkle.
Listen. After the show, we'll look at what we're doing. Listen, we have a plan for what we want to do next.
Yes.
As like a longer series.
Yeah.
but we want to start the longer series in 2025. So for the next like 2 Fridays or something, we want to do like something different, like a tiny.
A tiny.
We want to do a tiny, or maybe 2 one-offs. You know, it doesn't have to be like a story game. Like it could be like, oh well, we played this. You know.
Give me the bird.
So yeah, we should decide on what we're gonna do. I'll give you some options, and you can let me know what tickles your fancy. Yeah. 500 bits of microwave Alistair says, I know you don't know what Yveltal looks like, but I want everyone to know that without its horns, Yveltal looks wrong.
Renee says we will muck about in 2024. Like, you know, it's like the week before the holidays. You just don't work, basically.
Oh, this is Pokemon Y. Remember? We bought X and Y and played it. I don't know who was X and who was Y. But the Pokemon are in the shape of X and Y. I'm going to just type in Pokemon X because I don't remember his name. Xerxes? Or something? Pokemon Xerxes. Oh, I was close. Xerneas.
There you go. Yeah, you got it.
I mean, it showed me what I typed. Like, I typed in Pokemon Xerxes, and it showed me that Pokemon. I was like, alright. Done. Easy. Figured it out. Yeah, so, it'll be fun. Tomorrow will be fun. Because, when we're between projects and we're just trying to find, like, something different, those are some of my favorite streams.
Yeah.
like last week. Last week's stream was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. Really enjoyed.
No, we still haven't found the screw.
Haven't found the screw.
I don't think we ever will, honestly.
Yeah, I am starting to doubt the ability to find the screw. And, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Anyway, we'll play a video game tomorrow. It'll be great. I can't wait. Oh! I have vlogs. Here, you can watch a vlog. Hold on. Let me release it for you. I'm actually almost out of them, though, so...
Time to edit.
Yeah, I'm bouncing back and forth between that and some other things. There you go. That's 12/4, and today's 12/12, so a week behind. And I have a few extra ones done, I think. Here's some Shy says, the week before the holidays, you just don't work, basically. Me, looking at my growing list of installations I have to find a way to fit in before the end of the next week. Right. Yeah, I don't understand what that phrase means. The week before the holidays, you just don't work. I'm like, false.
It's
That's
like the
not...
last week of school before the holidays. Like,
If
the
you're
teachers are like, we're not doing anything. Let's watch movies.
If you're a child and you're in school, but if you're an adult with a job, like... You definitely still work. I don't know what you think is going to happen. You do know that we'll still be doing work.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I don't want you to be like, listen, it's the week before the holidays.
Until January.
I'm like, no, don't think so. No. I do want to stream on Christmas. I want to stream on Christmas because it's a Wednesday. I'm like, oh, that's the one I would stream anyway.
Oh, we should figure out exactly what we're doing, because I had thrown around the idea of whoever is in town having, like, brunch and watching movies. So we need to, like, figure out a time of what's going where.
I mean, I agree with you, and then secondary to that, I as a human being can just do whatever I want.
I know.
So I can just, irrespective of you eating a waffle and watching a bad Hallmark movie, I can do anything I want. So I'll probably stream no matter what, even if it's a short one. Just because the
Hot Frosty.
the novelty of, don't watch Hot Frosty because I want to watch that with you.
Okay.
The novelty of streaming on Christmas is fun. I like that because I don't get to do that very often. But this year, considering that, you know, it's such an unconventional Christmas for us, it's a good opportunity to do something like that. So, yeah. I hope it's N64. Who knows? Who knows? It's going to be a very Donkey Kong Land Christmas. You play through all 3 games back to back. That would be too long. That would take too much time. All right, that's it. Go watch the vlog, and Mal and I will see you
In the morning.
in the morning on her channel for art, and back here on this channel tomorrow night for a video game. Yeah. Have a good Thursday, everyone. Dome.